Hey everybody, and welcome to Homebodies Vlogcast. I am Ren.
I am Chris.
And I forgot how this intro goes.
This is the Homebodies Vlogcast.
Which I just said.
Where home is where it happens.
So make yourself at home.
Even though we on the road.
So as you already can see, we are in the car, and I'm sure someone out there is like, but you just said you were at home. I don't know if we've explained it in any of our other videos, or maybe you caught the vibe, but home, right, like our slogan, is where it happens. It's not necessarily a building. Right? This scenario right here is home, even though we're not in our house. So we just wanted to switch it up a bit and bring you on our ride back to Georgia from Philly. And babe, do you want to kind of go into why we're even coming from Philly to Georgia anyway?
Yeah. So welcome back, listeners. We are on our way back to on our way back to Georgia from Philly. We just had a wedding to go to. My little brother just got married. Shout out to Kyle and Dana.
Yes, congratulations again, and welcome to the Married Club.
All right, making it official. They just had their, big to-do ceremony. Me too, Donnie. Smell like gas. But yeah, so we are on our way back to Georgia now. What's that?
Harvest.
So we're in the car. We figured we'd record an episode while we're on our way back. I mean, we got a bunch of time. Shoot, we got 13 hours.
I think Amora has done a pretty good job considering that she's a dog.
By the way, we have our dog with us, Amora. She's in the middle. I don't know if you can see her, but
she's right there. Sorry if you can't see her.
Yeah, she has done a great job. But yeah, we went back to Philly for a wedding, and we're on our way back home now, back to Georgia. So we're just recording this episode to kind of, recap that, talk about some things that, was just kind of eye-opening for us during this time of the wedding. Because weddings in and of themselves is all about, a coming together, a joining together of two sides, two elements, if you will, kind of bringing them together. What elements?
It made me think about the movie Elemental, but keep going.
Oh yeah, how water and fire, they kind of, I think they got married, right?
No.
Or no?
No, they didn't get married. They were just a couple.
Okay.
At the end of the movie.
Okay. Well, yeah. So for this wedding, most times when it comes to the dress and the appearance, yes, Donnie. Sure.
I got it. You finished off.
Most times when it comes to dress and the clothing and appearance and all of that, my wife more so is the one that tends to be the fashionista.
Take it.
If you will.
You're giving me way too much credit. I like to dress up. It's
I'm
fun.
not giving you enough credit. Stop. You like the fashion.
I know, but I'm not gonna call myself a fashionista.
What does that mean? What's a fashionista?
So a fashionista is more like you live and breathe fashion. Like every time you go out the house, it's like complete look. Okay, so maybe fashionista is a matter of opinion, because I don't see myself as that. Like if I don't dress like a fashion designer, and every time I walk out the house, it's a like complete ensemble. I don't feel like that, even still. But that's a matter of opinion, so I can't rebuttal your opinion if that's how you feel.
Okay, I mean, I feel like every time, wherever we're going, even if you don't leave the house, you're putting on an outfit, especially as of late. You're putting on an outfit.
Yes, but putting on an outfit doesn't make you a fashionista. You put on a t-shirt and jeans.
I know, but even with your t-shirt and jeans, you're trying to be coordinated. You're being intentional. You're being thoughtful. Like,
still doesn't make you a fashionista. But okay.
Cool. Well, to me, you're more fashion-oriented than I am.
Sure. I'll take that.
I feel like you're not like me to where you're just throwing on whatever random t-shirt and whatever random pair of shorts.
Well, I slow down because I don't think that that's what you do. I mean, maybe in the beginning of our marriage or dating, when we were in college and nobody really cares that much about clothes, yeah, you were just putting on whatever. But even when I think about that, you had intention behind what you wore. You had intention. It just may not have been the look that, you know, I don't even know what I'm about to say. I feel like there's certain looks that maybe women want men to have, and that wasn't a thing for you. That wasn't a priority. It was like, yo, I'm dressing comfortably, and we just talked about this, that you like dressing like in a functional way, right? But I don't think that you don't think about what you wear, especially when you're going on your job. When you were working in Philly as a barber, there was a dress code where you had to wear all black, and so you followed the dress code.
I had to.
Right. But in following the dress code, you still stuck to your style. You have your own vibe, you have your own style, and you have grown to be more intentional about what you like and what you want to wear. For instance, the cap that you're wearing. Mm-hmm. The fact that it's corduroy, or is it suede? It's suede. The fact that it's suede, come on, that was intentional. That wasn't like somebody left this on the street, let me just pick it up. I just don't care, because as long as it's a hat, like, you care.
No, but what I'm saying is, in terms of like outfits, most times in terms of coordination,
I would agree. Maybe not just as much as me.
Sure, I mean, okay, in that case, everybody to some level has some type of coordination. But,
well, I wouldn't say coordination. I would say they have the ability to just clothe themselves.
Yeah, sure. But I feel like with you, it's clear that.
Hey, Donnie, we're recording, so we need you to be quiet. Oh, they're probably popping.
You gotta swallow. Swallow some water or something, or swallow some spit. Mine did too, Donnie. Mine did the same thing. What?
Well, we'll see. Let's read Chronicles of Narnia first.
Yes, when we're done,
give us this hour to finish, and then we can make our way to the tablets, okay?
We still got 6 hours left on the road.
Oh, that's actually not bad.
It's like 6.5. But yeah, so I was mentioning about the fashion because for the wedding, that we just came from, my wife, she got her outfit first. She had a nice brown dress, nice little suede joint. And, she wasn't really expecting me to match her or to wear what she had on per se. And to my knowledge, she didn't even really care if I did or I didn't. Like, she's kind of made this peace with, my husband is going to wear and dress however he's going to dress. That ain't going to stop me from looking the way I want to look. Mm. So speak to that real quick. Speak to, like, your freedom from trying to get me or make me look like you or whatever, like trying to force it. Like,
okay, so I'll state the obvious first, or not the obvious, but the fact. The fact is, I would love for my husband and I to match. I think it's the most adorable and cute thing to see couples match, whether that's on an event or just in daily life. Shout out to our friends, Mr. Reggie and Miss Angela Smith. They would match all the time, and I thought it was the most like adorable thing to see them. And it would just be something simple, like they wear the exact same color. Doesn't have to be the exact same, like, oh, you wear jeans, I gotta wear jeans. It was like, oh, we both wearing a blue shirt today, and now next week we're gonna wear an orange shirt. It was just that little subtle coordination was like pointing to something that I already knew that was going on with them, which was that they were unified. They were on one page. And so I got to see that physically, and it was like in an environment where that's not the typical thing and everybody else isn't doing it, it just made them stick out more to me. So of course I want my husband to match. It's part of the ensemble, right? That's part of the fun. But over the years, because it used to irritate me that Khristian didn't want to get dressed up. He'd rather be in something that's casual, keep it comfortable. I don't want to be in no dress shoes. I don't want to, wear a suit. Suit shirts, I'm sure, were horrible because if he buttoned them all the way up, it'd be choking his neck. So, like,
yeah, when I was more out of shape, getting dressed was very uncomfortable.
Yes.
Like she said, the collar, the jacket, I just felt constricted and tight and hot. So I ain't like getting all dressed. But go ahead.
So, it took some time to really sift through what is worthy of holding on to and what is worthy of letting go. And, I married Khristian for many reasons. Obviously, it wasn't the non-matching thing. But I realized that that's something that he really wasn't interested in doing. And I think I realized I was trying to hold up to this made up standard that because we're husband and wife, we have to look the part. Like, we have to look like, okay, we have to look coordinated. We have to match. People have to know that we are unified.
Outwardly.
Right. And eventually I got to a point where what matters more? If you know that you're unified and you truly are, or that you look the part? Which one should you emphasize on more? And I'd rather the emphasis be more on internal than external. So that was one of the things that I just decided, okay, you need to let this go, because this is one of your little ideal dreams that you're putting pressure on him that is unnecessary. And it doesn't make it, what does it do? Maybe get people to notice us. But is that what I really want? No. I'd rather have a healthy marriage than to get noticed about something that may not even be there. Okay, Donnie, look at me. I'm trying to do a podcast, but I need you to be quiet and try not to interrupt, okay?
Donnie, sit back in your chair.
Sit back in your chair. Why don't you relax?
Thank you.
Take a nap. Okay? You finished most of your apple. Did you want your other treats? Okay.
So I got to the point where I realized that, okay,
sorry, y'all.
She's not, it's all good, it's real life. She's not making me, she's not trying to force me to look away and to match her or to present away or in public or whatever. But this go around for the wedding, I was like, you know what? I want to match you.
And this is the thing, I have to say this. I was shocked and I was really, really thrilled Because I had kind of been moving in this direction anyway, where I was like, I let my husband do his own thing when it comes to, how he wants to style himself. I learned a while back that it's, I don't want to say it's a battle that I'm going to lose, but it takes more work that I don't want to deal with, to have to try to push him to be like, you need to match me, we need to coordinate, or you need to dress up more. And it's just like, that you already knew that.
Yeah, if you leave it up to her, she'll want me to wear suits to bed.
I like him in suits, so that, I don't know, it's a turn on for me.
But yes, so this time, good to know. But
you already knew that.
I know, but good to be reminded of. This time, I wanted to make sure that I, on my own free will, wanted to do this. And it wasn't like well, if you want me to, I will, I guess. Or what do you want me to do? I don't know, you pick. Like,
and this is the thing. I wanted that. Right. That's what I wanted. I'd rather
you wanted me to be the
because
one.
it carries so much more weight when the I guess when the spouse wants to do something with
versus being forced.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I don't want to force you to want to coordinate with me. I want you to come on your own terms and be like, yo, babe, I want us to do this.
It makes it that much more sweeter.
And it's less energy on me.
Don't you get over, truck, you better stay right there.
Because you can say the energy is put into help coordinating, which we'll get to, but I didn't mind that part. It just has a different feel when both want the same thing versus it being one-sided.
It's like you're choosing on your own to do this thing versus like being forced or you're under compulsion to have to do this thing. But I think, not to derail anything, but that's what the Most High wanted. Like, he wanted us to be cheerful givers of our time, of our service, and not under compulsion. Not like, I'm making you give this to me. No, you give to me what you feel is your best.
That's so crazy that you mentioned that passage, because that's literally what I thought of. Yes, yeah. I thought cheerful giver. That's the best explanation I could come up with as to what I wanted.
Yeah,
I wanted you to want that, not me forcing you. I don't like that idea of me forcing you to do stuff. Like, I want you to want to do it. Like, it's like going out on a date. It's like, I want us to do something we both want to do, not you just dragging yourself here. Oh, I guess I'm checking off a box. Like, no, I don't want that kind of marriage. I want it to be shared, not feel like I'm just dragging you along on a leash or something.
Right. It's like, imagine marrying a robot wife or something, and you program it every time I come home. As soon as I walk through the threshold of the door, you'd say, "Oh, I love you. Give me your kiss." Like, you're only doing it because I programmed you to do that versus you're willingly choosing to say, "Hey, I want to do this. I want to kiss you. I want to love you." It feels better.
And it has more of a significance, more of a weightiness, because it's like, I didn't put you up to this. Which is funny, because I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but yes.
Thank you, Harvey.
It's
coming down.
Sorry, 1 second. So my brother-in-law, which would be Khristian's oldest brother, had asked me, Harvey, basically, did I put Khristian up to the whole, I don't even know if you knew that.
I think you mentioned that.
Put him up to the whole, getting dressed thing for the wedding. And I was like, no, actually, he was the one. He was the one who wanted to match me. And if he didn't, I would have worn the same outfit and he would have worn whatever he wore. I would not bother him about that. Yeah, I just realized it's not something that I should care for.
Yeah.
Oh, you finished?
Thank you, Harvey. But yeah, so this go around, we were just like, man, look, or at least for me, I wanted to, be on one accord. I wanted to be like unified, you know, in terms of our appearance.
So I have some questions for you.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You got a question for me?
Yeah.
Lay it on.
So what compelled you this time to want to coordinate with me? Why this wedding? Why this event? Why now?
Well, hopefully it still sounds okay. Hopefully y'all can still hear us fine. I don't know if the rain is
I guess you can
loud or whatever.
Put your mic closer. No, this is chocolate chip, baby. You want me to open it?
So you said what made me want to coordinate this time?
What drove you to be like, because we've gone to other weddings, we've gone to, and it's not like, I think in the past you've tried to match in subtle ways, but this time you were very like avid about, no, I want like my shirt to coordinate with your dress and all that and all the works. Like,
yeah,
I want us to look like when we're paired together, people know like, oh,
we together.
It's a package deal. Like,
we's together.
So versus you just going through just going through whatever is in your closet and being like, all right, I'm just gonna wear this.
That's
I guess
what I was gonna do.
So
so at first, you know, my little brother that got married, he was kind of like, you know, hey man, look, wear whatever. We're not really stretching what people wear. Like, it's relaxed. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm gonna just grab something out of the closet. Just whatever. And I'll just make something work. I didn't want to spend no money. It's like, look, I'll make something work, you know. Because I do got a suit, but it's that one suit I always wear for everything. So it's like, you know, I'll just make something work. Maybe I might take the pants, you know, with a polo shirt or something. I was just going to kind of be on some chill, casual. I probably wouldn't even have had a suit or a blazer or nothing, especially if he said wear whatever. So then he called me back and was like, actually, I talked to wifey, and she said she wanted everybody to have on a suit pretty much, or be like formal looking. So I'm like, all right. So I'm going to buy a suit. So then me and wifey got to talking. We were talking, and you was like, I was like, yo, it'd be cool to have a corduroy suit. So she started looking up pictures of people with corduroy suits on. So I'm like,
I wish I could like post or show y'all the suit that I saw. That I was
I
like,
can.
Oh,
I can show it right here. There you go. That suit.
That's
one of them.
I don't have any words to that suit. Like, if I get my hands on that suit, I'm telling you.
Corduroy is fire. I love corduroy, so that's my look. And then her suit, her dress was like a velvety type of suede type of material, so I feel like corduroy would have been a perfect blend with that because it's got a similar look. But yeah, so we was kind of looking at pictures of corduroy suits, and I'm like, yo, I would love to have a corduroy suit, but I didn't know about getting a suit off of Amazon because it's like, you know, with something like that, you want to try it on, you want to make sure it fit, like you want to make sure, you know,
Amazon
all
is
the
iffy.
proportions is right.
Amazon is a risk because
sure.
you either get something real good or real crappy.
Yeah, so once we kind of realized like, all right, well, I'm gonna be buying a suit. I don't know exactly when and how and where, but I'm gonna buy something. You know, I wound up just going to H&M. You about to say what?
No, I was just gonna say that, just reiterating that we didn't want to go the traditional route, which would have been Men's Warehouse or whatever, to get like something super expensive, which is the other reason why we didn't get the suit that we just showed you, because it was a lot of money and it was off of Etsy, so somebody like handmade that bag.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, high harvest.
But yeah, so we so I got
chips.
I went to H&M to get a suit, you know, because I just needed something.
Maybe later.
So I got a suit from there, and I'm like, all right, got my suit. So now I just got to figure out what shirt I'm going to have. So my suit was burgundy, and her dress was brown. It's like a suede brown. So I'm like, all right, I still want to match you. So I want my shirt to match your dress. Like material, like texture and all. I want if I could find a suede brown shirt like her dress, I would get it exactly.
Which has never been done before. Usually he just goes with the standard white shirt to go with the suit and a tie. Which actually, You did not wear a tie this time.
Yeah, I don't want to wear a tie.
I actually like you without the tie.
Yeah, me too. Get to show off all the taco meat, all the chipotle and whatnot. But yeah, so I got the suit, and then she looked online. So I'm like, we just gotta figure out where I'm gonna find the shirt at. So she found something on Amazon, and it was different patterns. But the one that, worked best was the one that I wound up wearing. And, I was like, yo, hopefully it worked. Hopefully it fit. It is off of Amazon. So it's like, I ain't never bought no clothes off Amazon. But...
Yeah, we were taking a risk because not only were we purchasing from Amazon, which is where I purchased my dress. And I can talk a little bit more about my dress and how I came to pick the one that I did. But the interesting thing about this was we were taking a risk with that, and then we were taking a risk also with trying a different material and a different pattern. You've never really worn like a satin, it was like more of a satin material, a satin dress shirt, let alone one that had a pattern. So the one that we ended up choosing had like a cheetah print pattern, but I was like, I ain't trying to make you look fruity out here. So people get the wrong message because clothes do.
Hey, you gotta sit down, Harvey.
Clothes do send a message,
sit down, okay?
Whether we like it or not. And so I wanted something that would speak to my husband's style while also matching me. But it was actually fun doing that.
You technically picked out the shirt for me, and I was just like, yeah, let's do it. It works.
Yeah, but I didn't know you were gonna like the cheetah print thing.
And mind you, we holding up the phone to the dress, trying to see if it matched before we placed the order. So it was kind of like, it's not really an exact way to confirm it, but
it was free.
It wound up working. So yeah, it wound up working. So yeah, it was just like, I want us to look coordinated. So to answer your question, because you said, why did I want to do this? Mm-hmm. Why did I want to match?
Like, what drove you to be like, I want to do it?
Well, just knowing that we had to. My brother telling me we got to look, we got to look the part for the wedding, look formal. I was like, all right. So I wanted to buy something this time because it's like, I don't want to wear this suit that I always wear for most events. I was like, I want to get a suit. And then it's like, all right, I want to match you. I wanted to match your dress, like just to kind of be on the same page, be on one accord, be unified.
Did he tell you at did Kyle tell you at that point before we got into coordinating that we were going to take family pictures?
I knew we were going to be in family pictures because it was a wedding.
Yeah, so. And I feel like that was a reason too, that because we were going to be in their pictures, we didn't want to mess it up by wearing something that just was like, what do y'all got on?
But pretty much when we got to the wedding, I think I wasn't really anticipating the response that we would get in terms of the attention or what people would say about how we looked. Not even just us together, but me by myself, I wasn't expecting that kind of response. So it was interesting to just deal with that. But when we were together, it only enhanced the look even more because you saw this sameness, you saw this intentionality, you saw this purpose with our outfits. You know what I mean? And I realized the fact that this was, I'm talking about the photographer, making a big deal about our outfits. And
he wasn't used to all this attention, and I want to say carnally, not for something as far as his whole attire,
wardrobe,
ensemble, or us matching.
I mean, it's funny. Actually, I am used to that attention when it comes to my wardrobe. But most times, it's what are you wearing? What is on your feet? You got Jesus sandals on?
That's true.
It's normally that. It ain't yo, you look like, it ain't that. So I'm used to the attention, but just for the other way.
Right.
But the fact that this weekend was about marriage and coming together, I realized that marriage is about you taking two different things and bringing them together and making those two different things become one.
Yeah.
So even if it's two different pieces of metal or whatever, when you weld or when you marry these two metals together, they now become one. So I see that, how that was speaking about like man and woman, how he initially, the Most High, how he initially set it up. Like he wanted us as two different things, two different elements to join together in marriage and become one flesh.
Right.
It's like that unification. Is that a word?
Yeah, unification is a word.
Okay, I'm about to say, hey Google.
Wait, you shouldn't be asking me. I should be asking you. So you're the one who had betterment. But
the betterment. But now our unification though, or our joining together of like, I see how beyond just like clearly things look better when both sides are kind of looking in sync. They're looking together.
They are in sync.
Yeah, they are in sync. They're looking together. They're looking compatible, at least even with the appearance. So I realized that, okay, when there is a unity beyond just the carnal appearance or the outer like clothing, but there's a unity in terms of the relationship, all the internal intangible things with the relationship. When there's a unity there, oh man, like that looks way better, or that is better than when we are clashing, if we are on two different pages in terms of our thoughts, our movement, our hearts, our desires. Like, and I also think too, just because we're unified in marriage, that don't mean that we just agree or that we're just matching in terms of everything, in terms of things that we like or that we want to do.
It's supposed to be diversity. There's
a unity in diversity.
There's supposed to be distinction. You know, when we look at the attributes of the Father, he is wise, he is patient, he's kind, when you think of all the fruit of the Spirit, these are attributes of him. But when you look at scripture, you see how in Proverbs it personifies wisdom as a woman. And some people would like to argue that majority of the Bible is linked to males and their characteristics, right? Or their makeup. We look at biologically, women have more fat or carry more fat, and the men carry more muscle. Like, it's a fact. It's undisputable, right? But the Most High created it that way because he wasn't trying to make these clone copies of each other. He was like, yeah, just marry each other. He wanted us to be different. He wanted us to have certain qualities and attributes and abilities that were different. I didn't even think about this. When you think about birth, a man and a woman coming together to create life, so to speak, right? You have male reproductive system, and I have a female reproductive system, and this is what together creates new life, starts a new generation. And it's beautiful because, well, I think we kind of know the obvious. When it's not like that, it can't produce anything, right? It's like a plug and an outlet.
It's not fruitful.
Right. And so I think it's so beautiful that he made it so that we were different. So we kind of fit each other like a puzzle. But imagine a puzzle piece being exactly the same, and it just, the fit isn't the same. It's like you're just kind of nudging up against one another, but you're not fitting together. Like, even like my hands, like this. And he made it that way with a reason. He didn't want us to be the same. But now when we're talking about what direction we're moving in, now he wants us to be the same. Be on one accord.
Unity and diversity.
Yes. Because the diversity is helpful because it sharpens. It sharpens each other. There are things that in our marriage we can honestly say that, hey, I developed this, or you really helped me bring this out in my life. You really helped me in this area. But if we were the same, we probably wouldn't have brought that out. There would have been no contrast. Like, look at the Father and the Son. The Father and the Son, they're not one and the same in that way. One is a father, one has a different role, and the other one is a son. Different role, submission role, right? And one is the authority. But then what happens? The Most High and the Messiah are one. Why? Because they're just one person. Now, we go into this argument, but I ain't going to go there. But the oneness is speaking of their character that matches. This is why Jesus would say stuff like, when you see, haven't you been with me? As he said to the disciples. Like, if you see me, you've seen the Father. And they were so lost because they were thinking in like physically. But he was saying like, the things that resemble the Father is a mirror image of me. So when I'm patient, when I'm kind, you're seeing the Father and his same attributes.
The mercy, the compassion,
the
all
love,
of that. The justice, the faithfulness.
But it works, and the beautiful thing about it is the prayer of the Messiah was that I want this for you with the Father. Not that it's just me and the Father that are one. I want you to be one with him too.
Without a doubt.
So I want you to resemble the Father.
Well, even better, he made Adam to be like him, to be one with him. He made him in his image.
He made Eve too.
Without a doubt. He made, well, that could speak to both of them.
Right,
Adam,
right.
But he made them, man and woman, in his image to resemble the Father and his characteristics, his justice, his righteousness, his faithfulness, his mercy, his compassion. So that was always the plan for mankind to be united, be united or be matching with the Father.
Just not matching with clothes.
Right.
But you could say there's a matching spiritually going on.
Without a doubt.
And I guess the best combination is when you have both.
Having his mind matching in thought.
I would say this, that it was really heartwarming to go to the wedding, matching my husband, but knowing that we're on the same path, that we're unified spiritually. So this is, for us, it was nothing to like match. I don't feel like we were trying to put on a facade. It was just something that came out physically that was already there spiritually. Us being one spiritually, and now it's just being publicized so that everybody else picks up on it, even if they didn't know what we believe in or anything. It's like, oh, well, clearly that's your wife. Clearly y'all together.
Right.
Clearly y'all love each other, or at least that's the assumption, right? You know, because we're there, we're taking pictures, and then we're dancing together, we're eating together, we're taking photos in different areas together. So, and I can't tell you how many times.
Sometimes we wasn't together.
Right. But the photographer was like snapping everywhere. But he actually, so one of the photographers actually was complimenting Khristian all by himself. And then when I guess it was a bunch of other people with us standing next to us. And when he got to me, he was like, oh, it makes sense. It's obvious now that y'all are paired together.
Right.
So it just makes things a whole lot clearer, and it enhances a lot.
Yeah, when you're on the same page. I think about them like boys groups, boy band groups back in the day.
Like NSYNC,
or like
Boys.
a New Edition, like how they had when they was young, or the Jackson 5 or whatever. How they had the same
outfit
suit on, and they'd be having the same moves, and they all in sync, and they coordinated, and they matching, and they doing things together. Like, yo, it just looks better.
Yeah, I promise you, you could be doing the stupidest dance ever, like a dance that's not even a dance.
Harvey,
it just
sit in the seat.
It just looked weird, and nobody would like it. But the fact that it's a group of people doing that same dance in sync, it's like now all of a sudden it's cool. I'd be like, if this person was doing it by themselves, it wouldn't have blew up like how it did. But it was like, because a lot people are doing it together, it's like, I don't know, to me it just always looks better when you're in a group doing it, or it's just more than one person.
For sure, yeah, absolutely. But I think that speaks to, because it's like, how do you match if it's just one? Like, you need others in order to see this coordination or this harmony, kind of amongst the two.
But that is how, like, it's so obvious, because then when you look at creation, aside from human beings, look how he made all the animals. They had to have a pair to reproduce.
Mm-hmm.
They can't say be fruitful and multiply to just one whale. They need another whale. Not just one any whale. They need a female and a male whale.
Yeah, I mean, even though you got some creatures that could just reproduce,
right? You do have that,
which speaks to the diversity of the Creator in terms of how He just made all of these things.
But most of them,
for sure,
need, like, even plants do. Yo, craziest thing. I think it's a zucchini needs like there needs to be like a male. There's like a male. Y'all gotta look this up because I might be butchering it. But there, for all of those who might be like have the green thumb, correct me on it, or maybe you have a better way of explaining it in the comments. But basically, and I found this out while doing gardening, and basically I had a zucchini plant, and supposedly the zucchini plant has to have a female component and a male component, and I think it even needs a bee to actually fertilize and become the flower to become a zucchini, which I thought was crazy, because it's like, wait a minute, in order for some plants to grow or vegetables to grow, they need a male and a female part. You know, I'm sorry, maybe I was the only one who thought this was an animal and human thing, but I didn't know that was a requirement for some plants and some vegetation. Mm-hmm. But it's like, it's the Most High is He loves patterns. He loves repeating himself.
Right. And I think,
and He knows that we need it. But I'm sorry.
So when He made us, when He made human beings, His desire was for us to match Him, like, in all of the intangible things. The mercy, the justice, the faithfulness, the love, the patience, the kindness, the understanding, the being slow to anger, all of these things that make up His character, right? His desire was for Him to duplicate His character in the earth, so His will can be done in the earth. So just as much as He wanted creatures to reproduce and multiply and make more of themselves, He wanted us to do that when it came to bearing His image. He wanted us to reproduce and make more, image bearers of Him in the earth. Mm-hmm. But in relation to those things, the mercy, the justice, the faithfulness, the kindness, the goodness, all of those things that make up who He is, that's what He wanted us to reproduce as well. Mm-hmm. So not just physically making more people, but more people who are going to carry that image, right? Who are going to be one with the Father, like the Messiah was. The Messiah gave us an example of how to be a child of God, mm-hmm. how to truly reflect Him and match Him and be one with Him. So I think with all that being said, is like the wedding this weekend kind of taught me or showed me that, when we are on the same page, it looks better. It just looks better, and it feels better. But it is better. It is better. But I'm more concerned about being on the same page in terms of all of those intangible things. Mm-hmm. Being on the same page in terms of our thoughts and our desires and our mindsets and our ways of thinking and our belief system. Like, when we're united there, mm-hmm. you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll bleed through in other areas. I was about to say that. I think that it's inevitable to just remain spiritual, right? Unseen. Like, eventually people are going to see, two people that love each other. They're going to see that. Mm-hmm. That can't really be hidden. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could try to hide it, but I think people would be able to detect, like, okay, their love seems genuine, right? Because it's all
usually assumption, especially if you don't know the person. But as they get to know, it's like, man, I can really see that this woman really loves her husband, or this man really loves his wife, by our speech, by our conduct. It's how we behave, what we choose to do and what we choose not to do, how we choose to respond. And that's the same way with the Most High. I actually have grown to love not only the unseen things, but also the carnal things. Because I think what is missed with what is carnal is that it becomes the focal point instead of them working together cohesively. You think about the Old Testament, and there are a lot of physical examples, one being the temple, right? The temple, I believe, was always pointing to us and our bodies. There was a lot of detail put into the temple, just like there's a lot of detail put in the body, right? These things are a clear matchup, and how we know is when Jesus tells the Pharisees that they're going to destroy the temple, and then he's going to raise it up in 3 days, and they're looking probably, I'm just using my imagination, are probably looking at him like he's dumb, because their response was very like, well, clearly you're not thinking of the temple as the body, you're still thinking of the temple as a building. And the point of me even bringing that up was that, I don't remember. Oh, that
you're talking about how there's these physical examples all throughout the scriptures.
Yes,
the Old Testament. How
the physical and the spiritual are cohesive. Not that we should just drop the physical, but a lot of times.
That's me.
But a lot of times, what ends up happening is, like you said, it bleeds through. They're always connected. Like you talk about heaven and this realm that we can't see, right? And then you think about earth, this part that we do exist, that we know. I don't want to say that we know exists, but we know it exists by us living in it. And you see it all over through scripture, these themes where you see physical and spiritual connected together, and you could call it one, right? They're working together. I think one of the issues that we have is just we will look on the surface and just see the carnal part. We'll just see the matching outfits. But what I was saying before is what was beautiful at being at the wedding is that I was matching you, but I know we're matching in a spiritual way as well. And so that gives me comfort, whether we are matching physically or not. But it adds to it when it's like now people that don't know us get to see and get a little taste of what we experience in daily life being married.
Mm-hmm. And then it's like, yo, no glory to us.
Absolutely not.
All praise to the Most High, because if it wasn't for his word and his wisdom that we're able to glean from spending time and communicating with him through his word and looking at the examples in the scriptures
and seeing his word as a standard, because you could do all the reading you want, and I'm sure many scholars have. You could know it from front to back, but the understanding and seeing it as standard, as a standard that we're going to follow.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that, I mean, there would be no harmony, really.
No commitment, there's nothing to abide by, because you have nothing that you following your own thing. And that could change, but his word doesn't. So right. it keeps you steady, and unshaken.
Unwavering. It says it says all flesh is as of the grass of the field. And it says the flowers are the glory of that flesh, in a sense. And it says the grass withers and the flowers fade.
Donnie.
But the word
not Donnie, I'm sorry.
Of the Most High,
Harvest,
the word of our power, it will remain and it will stand forever. The truth of what he says ain't going to change. So, saying all that to say, when you are trying to match yourself with him, oh, that will create a matching in other areas in your life that transcend just the carnal thing, you know, because you're trying to match with the one that made you,
and that's going to come out physically.
Yeah, and that's going to bleed in everything that you do, because the one that made you made everything that you see,
and it's meant to. Is that it?
No, that was from the other one.
It's meant to. It's meant to be that way. That the physical always points to something deeper, something greater, something bigger. Like, so the beauty of matching on the wedding day, I mean on the, my brother-in-law's wedding day, is we get to showcase something that we already knew is a reality because we're living in it.
And you know what's funny? I can't speak for you.
Go ahead.
But I wasn't trying to match. I wasn't trying to match her for the sake of other people seeing or recognizing anything about what we got going on.
No, that's not why I want to do it either.
I was doing it for her because I know that there's an enjoyment that she gets out of when we're all dressed up and we're looking like we're on one accord outwardly. Mm-hmm. There's a joy that she's getting out of it for her. Because
I know it's not that I want other people to see. I think.
Wait, but let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So the only reason why I'm saying that is just to make it clear that it's like the irony is the goal wasn't to be recognized by other people and for other people to want to take pictures and give us all these compliments. Ooh, y'all look nice. Ooh, that wasn't for me. That wasn't the goal. I'm content knowing that she likes the fact that we're on one accord in terms of our physical appearance. You know, I was content with knowing that. And that alone filled my cup up. That alone had me satisfied. So anything outside of that was just extra. But the extra for me was just so unexpected that it's just like, oh, wow. Like, the expectation wasn't... So let's say if nobody ever gave us a compliment, I would have had a ball and been at peace and enjoyed myself because my aim wasn't for the sake of other people to recognize or to see. I was content with just knowing that my spouse was happy or satisfied or at peace with what we had going on outwardly. And that was enough. So it's just funny how that works. But you were saying, go ahead.
I think for me it was, and that was one of the questions I was going to ask you, but
okay.
One of the things for me was, I guess, pivotal, and you taking that stand and saying, hey, I want us to coordinate, was like, wow, you're Harvest.
Harvey.
You're...
See, you see. There you go.
You're... And not saying that you weren't before, but it's like, wow, you're proud of our love that you would want people to know. Not...
You poop?
Oh, okay. That's probably what Donnie smelled.
Oh, we about to pull over and get some food anyway.
You wanted... Because what it read is, oh, I want to coordinate with you. It's like, oh, I want to publicly make it known how much I care about you, how much I love you, and how much I'm with you. I'm committed to you. So even though I knew those things already, it's like, no, I wanted to like show. It's kind of like what people will do with baptism. They want to showcase. It's not that they're trying to perform, but they just want people to know, hey, I'm making a stand here. And it's like when you match me, it's like, hey, I'm making a stand that it's like a more of an emphasis, like I'm her husband, like we're together, like this is the package deal. Like, go ahead.
If I may, for me, I didn't care about nobody else or what they thought about us. I was doing this sacrifice for me, for you.
Right. No, I get it. But I think I hope you're not hearing me say, I wanted you to do it for the sake of other people. It's just making it, because, okay, the reality is you can have a whole relationship and nobody know about it. You keep it hidden. You don't really talk about it. You don't really, and I feel like that kind of speaks to like shame. Like, why are you ashamed? If you really love this person, why are you ashamed of taking them out in the public? You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it wasn't about the public. It was more about, yo, I'm proud. I'm a proud husband.
Oh, for sure.
I'm proud of my wife, or I'm proud to be in this marriage. Like, it was like a physical stance of, I love being married.
Yes.
Even though we're in a world where, you know, a lot of people don't want to be married or aren't willing to do the work of marriage. Mm-hmm. Like, that was like a stamp, like, it's like Moses and his staff. Like, or the 10 Commandments. It's the physical meeting the spiritual. The spiritual was already there. I already knew that you were committed to me. And that you enjoy being married. You haven't told me otherwise. But when you decided to, on your own accord, be like, yo, I want us to coordinate. It's like, yo, I want people to see. Now, and I know that's not what you meant, but I want to show that I love being married to you without saying it. Because, come on, like, why else would we coordinate? I mean, we could be coordinating just to put on the show, but that wasn't what it was, and that's why there was an emphasis.
But remember, I'm just telling you, I was doing it.
No, I understand that.
Because I know you appreciate that.
But I'm telling you what that translates to for me.
I got you. There's not a shame.
Yes.
There's an unashamedness.
It's not about the people. It's, you're unashamed of being my husband.
Sure.
And that feels amazing. That feels good. I don't want you to be ashamed. That would just be bad.
You alright, Harvey? This thing told me that it said there was food and gas over here.
Maybe it didn't update.
I was looking for gas. Anywho, we're gonna wrap this up because we need to make a stop, get some food.
Right. But it was nice talking with you.
Yeah, thank y'all for joining us in this car ride, I guess. This different edition. And we might do this more frequently to where, you know, we switch up the scenery to where we get off the couch, do something different, you know.
Yes, please let us know in the comments if there's a certain, I don't want to call it backdrop, but there's certain background that you enjoy. Maybe you enjoyed this particular episode where we're in a car, or our previous episode, if you haven't watched it, you should, where we were in the kitchen. Let us know if you like the switch up or you just like the standard couch situation. I'm really interested in knowing what you think. And anything else you want to say before?
No, I mean, I think the point is with this one was just kind of talk about being on one accord, being united.
Yeah.
It always looks better. Oh, man.
Well, that's a way to end.
That wasn't united. Uh-oh.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we should keep that.
No, I don't mind.
All right, well,
I was saying.
Oh, go ahead. You were saying.
I'm good over there.
Yes, you're good over there.
The last thing I was saying was us being unified. Oh, Judah, the camera tipped over. That's why we was laughing. Being unified, being on the same page, fighting for that, working for that, putting the time in for that is going to be better in the long run when you are moving in harmony versus when you're moving disjointed. Yeah. And y'all all off key and y'all ain't, on the same step. She stepping left, you stepping right. It's like, it takes work to find that rhythm, but it's possible, it's doable. And I feel like the more you press into the Most High's word, the more you get unified with Him, the better you can be unified with people, especially a spouse. It's the most intimate relationship that we got as a husband and a wife, right? So the being at this wedding, it just kind of reminded me of the importance of that and the appreciation, that I have for the time that we spent to be on the same page. So
appreciation for what we have in our marriage.
For sure. But hey, congrats again to Kyle, Dana.
Yes,
shout out
Dana,
to y'all.
Welcome to the family. The Mayfields. We're Mayfields. I remember she screamed that out earlier, which I thought that was sweet. yeah, it was yeah, I think it was her, and she came up. Nah, I think I came up to her, and she was like, "I'm a Mayfield." And I was just like, "Yo, that's dope that you are proud and you're happy to be a Mayfield." So, welcome to the family, sis. I'm really happy for you guys, and I know you're enjoying your honeymoon. So,
I'm sure when this is out, that's all gonna be over. But I'm sure you enjoyed your honeymoon. But yeah. So that's it. Thank y'all for tuning in. And we'll catch y'all next time.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
No. But question though,
So this is Homebodies, where
home is where it happens.
And thank you for listening to our vlogcast.
Yeah.
And please tune in for other episodes. And what else do we want to say?
Engage with us, share it, whatever you want to do. But hopefully this information was edifying in some kind of way.
Enlightening, encouraging,
challenging,
and it's something that you can pass on to others.
Thought-provoking.
Thank you for giving us your time.
Your ear.
All right, now get to stepping.
You ain't got to go home. Or
I'm not saying the other part.
You probably should go home. Yeah, go home. Go be with your family or whatever.
No, go home, because it's where it happens.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
go home.
Go home, Roger.
You ain't no twin.
Oh, wish it was.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
Yes, see ya. Bye. We're closing the door.
Alright, if you're gonna do that, you gotta cover the whole thing.